We're back now with the new concerns this weekend about threats targeting election officials. A number of Wisconsin municipalities have recently increased penalties for threatening or harassing election officials or workers. Now the state's largest city is considering the same. Dane County Clerk Scott McDonell is standing by, but first, our Matt Smith with the new developments.
We're not just going to sit here and let this happen. We're not going to be pushed around and bullied. We refuse to be intimidated.
Milwaukee this past week becoming the latest city announcing it's working legislation that would increase penalties for anyone who threatens or harasses election officials, following similar action in Madison, Sheboygan, and Racine. Racine County Clerk Tara McMiniman.
Does this solve the problem?
I don't think the problem is solved necessarily by putting an ordinance or a fine or a forfeiture in place, but I hope that it's something that we can use if we have to. But again, we hope that we don't have to use it, right? That's the goal, is that everyone can see and participate, but that we don't have to do that to anyone.
Leading up to the midterms, let's talk short term right now. Are you getting emails, phone calls, voicemails?
Yeah, so certainly we have had a couple things that are concerning that we've been working with the police department for. A lot of those have been coming into the clerk's office. I have heard of one or two election officials on election day that have felt uncomfortable, but again, the majority of them are coming in towards the clerk's office at this point in time.
Shantae Nelson is tracking threats in key battleground states: Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, and Wisconsin.
What are some of the threats that we're seeing in these battleground states targeting election officials?
Well, I mean, some of them have been threatened to be sued, not just within their role, but even personally. Some of them have feared for their actual lives because of the threats. I mean, we had our election clerk here, I know many people know, ended up a while back having to actually leave the state because the threats were coming in at such a degree. And so this is a real threat to our elections.
In Dane County, tens of thousands of dollars now set aside after a recent report concluding threats to election workers a serious threat and the security of the county's election equipment as inadequate.
Scott McDonell is the Dane County Clerk. He joins us now from Madison. Scott, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
First, walk me through what kind of threats, if any, your office is still receiving now leading up to the midterms.
We haven't had any specific sort of, death threats or anything like we did a couple of years ago, but there are persistent, emails, open records requests, questioning our integrity and the integrity of the election system. And so it's just an ongoing problem here and around the state.
I want to talk about this report that Dane County commissioned that painted a somewhat dire picture of the situation. Something that struck me, some of the conclusions: a current physical infrastructure is, quote, inadequate for a function identified as critical. Were you surprised by any of the findings, and what stuck out most to you?
Yeah, I was surprised by Homeland Security's reaction to how bad our situation was. I knew it wasn't good, but when they went through the facility, and actually the city of Madison's facility as well, they were kind of dismayed at the current situation. And part of the issue is that our office and clerks around the state, we're set up to have the public come in. We do 3,000 marriage licenses a year. The city does alcohol licenses and all kinds of things over there. People are coming in and out all the time. And that's part of the problem. This building, our office, is kind of a sieve, and it's hard to harden it against people who may want to do something that's a problem. And so that's why that was what the report identified, that really all of our facilities are inadequate.
And the report also listed some recommendations on what to do to change that. The county executive has set aside money to address some of the issues that were raised. What is that money going to go toward, and what's the timeline?
Yeah, we're looking at building a new facility just for elections here in Dane County. And Wisconsin and Michigan are the two states that push election administration down to the very lowest level, down to the town clerk. That has some advantages. You have people in the community who know and can explain the election, and they're trusted. But the negative side of that is that often, machines, ballots are in broom closets. They're not secured properly. And there isn't that economy of scale that you get when it's done at the county level, like it is the rest of the country, really. So what we're looking to do is create a cooperative model where we're having that economies of scale. People can bring their machines in, ballots, run things through equipment, like you see around the country, and have it be in a secure environment with proper climate controls, proper cameras, security, everything like that. A timeline would be as soon as possible, but it'll at least take a couple of years.
In response to the recent ordinance the city passed increasing penalties for threats to election officials, the head of the Dane County GOP said this was just put in place to intimidate poll watchers, specifically Republicans, in a liberal county and city like Madison. How is this just not partisan politics, and how do folks have trust that this is really going towards something that's important?
Yeah, no, poll watchers are an important part of our democracy, and they have a right to be in the polling place, to observe things, to ask questions. And not just a right, it's important that they do that. So this is not targeting anyone who's properly following the procedures and the laws, and they actually need to be there. But there are a handful of people who are aggressively threatening, stalking election officials, and you're just going to drive people out of this business, and they'll be replaced with people who don't know what they're doing. And that'll just compound the problem. And so this is a real threat to our democracy right now, and it's a little different than what we've seen in the past, and something really needs to be done about it.
Scott McDonald, the Dane County Clerk, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Up next, Wisconsin on the national stage. ABC News political director Rick Klein standing by with the implications ahead of November.